All right, we are live again with the daily Parks and Rec show. Have some updates for you today. Normally, I take Mondays off while I'm trying to create a show for park maintenance and superintendents and stuff. But I really had so many updates I want to share with people in Parks and Rec of what we're doing, the progress that we're making, and just kind of give you what's coming up in the next few weeks. So we will be attending the Texas Parks and Recreation event coming up in Dallas next week. I think we're going to be there Monday through Thursday. I'm trying to bring with me a photographer and a videographer, along with myself and a producer, for so we can get some good interviews. We've got a lot of great Texas people that have already come on the show, that are coming on the show, and that are gonna we're gonna interview there. And so, if you're going to be in Texas, please, if you see us, stop by, say hello, come say a few words, tell us what's going on in Parks and Rec in your department. So that's update number one. Update number two: we have just finished our promo competition for a way that you can work with the daily Parks and Rec show. I had my video editors put together something about how you can use our video editing team, our social media management team, and I think this might be one of the major directions we use to fund the daily Parks and Rec show, because we already have these people on staff managing our social media. These are full-time workers for the daily Parks and Rec show. They're managing our social media. They're creating these short video contents that the community can use. You can see an example of some of their work on YouTube. If you go to our YouTube channel and you would like to help us raise awareness to Parks and Recreation as a career path for high schoolers that you are employing during summer camp, lifeguards, whatever. We encourage you to play one of our 4 videos for them to hopefully plant a seed in their head um, about considering this as a career path and a degree choice for them. This is only our first version, so we're going to improve upon this as we start working and collaborating more with the universities that offer these college degrees, even bringing on some of the professors and some of the students. So this is going to be something that we continue to evolve and start to work on. However, this is just throw something out there with that general idea of here's the opportunity. Okay, so here's the opportunity and frame it for y'all. You're a park and rec director. You have 30 full-time employees, 50 full-time employees. During the summer, you have these part-timers that are coming on as these are high schoolers. So juniors, seniors, maybe even sophomores. They are your concession stand workers. They are your lifeguards. They are your summer camp counselors, right? And you may have 100 to 150 of these working with you part-time. Many a time, this is the first time they've ever had a job. This is the first exposure they have really to employment of any capacity. You are their first boss. You've dedicated your life to Parks and Rec. Many of you have masters and PhDs and degrees in Parks and Rec. You have a good paying job with good benefits in an industry that's compelling and that you've dedicated your life to. And now you've got 100 to 150 high school students that have not yet picked a career path, many of them. And so I think this is a great opportunity for Parks and Recreation to represent the industry to the next wave of college degrees, college kids coming in and saying, hey, in addition to potentially considering architecture, engineering, law, medicine, have you considered Parks and Recreation as a degree, as a career path, so that Parks and Recreation can start to bring in some of the best and the brightest and the talent from day one? I know that there are tons of talented people out there that merely because they don't know what they don't know that this is a career choice. And we need to get our directors in front of them, speaking with them just for 5 or 10 minutes in that orientation that you give your summer help, your summer high school workers. You've got an orientation period where you onboard them, where they learn, how to turn in their hours, what are the rules of engagement for working for the city, working for the parish, working for the county, excuse me, I'm in Louisiana. Um, and and I don't think we're maximizing I'm told that we're not maximizing this opportunity. And so what can the Daily Parks and Rec show do? We have created 4 um 60-second to 2-minute videos explaining the opportunity, the passion that we have in Parks and Recreation. If you want to invest in your community, if you want to leave a legacy, if you want to make a difference, if you want to impact, if you want to work anywhere in America, there is Parks and Recreation. And it's not just at the director level. Many Parks and Rec departments hire landscape architects, coaches, accountants, marketing specialists, and leadership like assistant director, director, manager, stuff like that. But there's so many things that this industry needs. And I think we just want to do our part in raising it up, getting the word out. The high school kids are the ones that are choosing what direction they want to go, where they want to, what industry they want to call their home. And so please feel free to go into our YouTube channel, find go into the video section. Like when you go to a channel video section, there's a playlist called Career Path, and play a few of those. Let us know what you think. This is our version 1. It's what we have. If you feel like this is good enough, at least since many may have nothing that we're working with. Also, uh, Pennsylvania put out a great one. I need to see if I can maybe pull that one on this channel as well. Play that one, if just get permission from them, because they did a good job of interviewing people that chose Parks and Recreation as a career path. And I want to give that one as much airtime as possible. They did a great job. I actually just someone sent it to me last week, right when we released ours, and so that's the kind of stuff we want to do. I'm hoping if I can get a photographer or a videographer to come with me into Texas, I can capture more native Parks and Rec film that we can then give to our editors and just start producing really good content. So anyway, that is one thing that we have going on right now is just to create content as an example for a need inside of Parks and Rec. Obviously, that's a big need, and why is it a need? Did you know that we had? I forget who told me this in one of my last interviews. It was a phone call interview for a show prep of them coming on to this show. But they were like, we used to have like 100 universities in America that offered Parks and Rec degree of some sort. And now they're just dwindling. The class size is dwindling. The universities are just canceling the programs. And and that's just because kids they're not enrolling in it. They're not seeing it. They're just not saying, this is what I want to do. And yet this college kid graduates, discovers Parks and Rec, ends up in Parks and Rec, and never really used uh, that college program. And so they may be in maybe to getting a degree in teaching or get a degree in some other college embedded within the university. And so that degree gets the tuition, the student's presence, and then the university looks at it and say, okay, that big fat class with 100 kids in it all pursuing this degree, let's keep that one going. Let's keep that one funded. Okay. But this Parks and Rec class over here that's dwindling in numbers, that doesn't have Parks and Rec like students, we have to pick. We don't have unlimited resources. We're going to fund the classes that have a lot of kids choosing that as a career path, and we're going to defund the class that doesn't have a lot of kids in it. And so if the kids aren't enrolling and the kids are unaware of this as a career path, then that's a problem. And the sad part is that after graduation, adults are discovering Parks and Rec. That's why we're in this crazy category called the discovery major or the discovery industry, that you discover Parks and Rec after you've already been through college. And then maybe you go back and get a master's or whatever in it. But um, I think if what I'd like to see is if you end up in Parks and Rec, hopefully in a perfect world, you would have pursued a Parks and Rec degree from high school, gotten your bachelor's in it, and then come out the other end. And then you could say that Parks and Rec industry got credit for recruiting or bringing that student into the industry looking to pursue a college degree. And so anyway, that's the story. That's the framework that we find ourselves in. And what is our part as the Daily Parks and Rec show, as a group of artists, digital artists creating content, telling storytellers, is what a great story. I think that's a great story that we can tell. The first wave of videos just came out, and now we're busy working on our second iteration of that. What does that look like? How can we improve it? Let's get some native content. Let's make it an even better video. Okay. And then what are some other topics similar to that? So I think we found one. I was talking with Gabby. Oh shoot, Gabby. I forgot. Hold on. I think it's Gabby Vera, but I don't want to mispronounce her last name. So I'm going to pull it up real quick. Patience, everyone. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. Here we go. Okay, I'm pretty sure it was Gabby Vera with Arkansas. Yeah, it sure was Gabby Vera. Gabby Vera with Lake Havasu, Arkansas. She is working with YPN, Young Professionals Network, which is part of NRPA, and it's for people that are coming into the industry, people that are in college pursuing a degree in Parks and Rec, and it's a network for them to be able to connect with people. I think they're having a mentorship program that they offer, and so she was telling me about it, and Kevin told me about it. Kevin Brown over in Katy, Texas, and then Molly over in I think Molly's in the North Boston somewhere. They were telling me about YPN, what it does, why it's important. And I said, okay, this could be our next project. I think we want to create another video promoting YPN, what it is, really just for young professionals. So these are people so we've got one idea around high schoolers, connecting the directors to the high schoolers they are employing, and the target time and the target audience. Remember, when you're targeting somebody, and I'll derail this a little bit, but think about when you're targeting somebody. So how do you hit the bullseye? The bullseye is describing what is the target, where is the target, when do you want to hit the target? Okay, so and if you miss on one of those, if the target's only there for a brief moment, you show up, you're too late, the target's already passed, you shot too early, you missed because the timing wasn't right. You hit the target, but you hit an 80-year-old that's retired and is not going to enter the market. Okay, so wrong person. What is the target? You hit somebody that is in medicine, loves medicine, wants to be a doctor, and you're never going to get them in Parks and Rec or engineering or law because they want to be a doctor. So you got to know the what, you got to know the who, and you got to know the when. And so for this first one, our target is the what is a high school kid. Excuse me, the who. The who is a high school kid. The what, people that could be open to a degree in Parks and Recreation. Someone that maybe have a job in Parks and Recreation, maybe doing some summer work in Parks and Recreation. Somebody that's part of summer camp. These are your employees, your part-time summer employees. So got the who there. The when, well, again, high school juniors, high school sophomores, high school seniors. Then this is when they're choosing. So you've got a small window. And if we want to narrow down that when, how about orientation at your parks department? So what, who, and when? That's how you nail the target. So we want to play this video. And then who's shooting? We want the director to shoot. Someone that they can imagine themselves being, and maybe the director and some other leadership embedded within your Parks and Rec department. So we want the director to take the shot. They're shooting at the target is the high school junior in orientation. So you're going to be planting seeds inside their head, and just hopefully have them consider, you know what? Let me look into the Parks and Rec program that Auburn offers, or that, Texas State offer, whatever universities are offering these great programs. So anyway, now next, High school was a target, college career target. Now they're enrolled. They are in the program. They have just received a job within the first year in Parks and Rec. They're young professionals network, right? What kind of piece of content do we want to produce for them? What's the 60 to 120-second video that we could make, the Daily Parks and Rec Show, a group of video content creators, a group of artists? What can we hand to Gabby and Molly that are promoting YPN? That's going to be our next push. And so I'm going to reach out to both Gabby, Molly, Kevin. I've got probably, oh my gosh, I think I've got my maybe 10 people that I've interviewed that have come on the show or that are coming on the show that were active in YPN, that love YPN, that came through as students and then now maybe are participating on the back end as mentors. I'd like to bring y'all into our creative process um, to where what our creative process looks like this. We create a Skype channel just for, so it's a group chat. So Skype is just an app. If you haven't heard of it, it's like Telegram or it's like WeChat or WhatsApp, that kind of stuff. So Skype is one. Let's just say we get 5 Parks and Rec people that are involved in YPN. And so these are the ones that are trying to promote YPN, that are helping run YPN, that kind of stuff. Maybe even get one of the participants in YPN. And then in that same Skype chat, we've got 5 to 6 video content creators. So that's the artist. And so imagine you're commissioning an artist to come paint your family portrait. So they show up at the house, they've got the canvas, they've got the paint, they're ready to paint. Okay, but you've got to show them what you want them to paint. You've got to show them the moment you want them to capture. You've got to tell them the story you want them to tell for you. So it's like hiring a movie producer to come produce a movie on your life. It's like hiring an artist to come paint your family portrait. You got to show up with the family. You got to show up ready to tell the story, and then they take notes and they say, okay, well, I'll use this video to capture that moment. I'll use this sound to capture that feeling, and then I'll narrow it down to where it's powerful. It communicates the message, and then you give them all, a few days, maybe half of a week, and they say, here's my first draft. What do you think? Give me some feedback. That's where we would need the Gabbies, the Kevins, the Mollys to say, I love the direction this one's going. Let's go a little more that direction. Let's take a little bit of this away. Let's double down on this messaging within the video. And so I want the YPN people, the Parks and Rec directors that are volunteering for YPN, that are helping out, to be part of that creative process, to give guidance and direction to the storytellers, to the videographers, to the artists. So basically we want to bring the artists and the people, or the storytellers, and then the people that were telling their story in the same room. And I think we're going to create something really special this time, because before it was really just I was the filter. So I'm listening to the opportunity or the problem, however you want to frame it, about Parks and Rec being a discovery major, about these universities starting to cancel their programs, about fewer and fewer students coming into Parks and Recreation as a college degree. I'm seeing the problem, I'm hearing the problem, and now I'm trying to gather all that information and communicate it to our digital artists. So now I'm trying to somewhat remove myself and say, hey, digital artists, I'm going to step out of the way. I'm going to let you talk to the people that are telling me what the opportunity, what the problem is. Okay. I want you to hear it straight from the horse's mouth, right? I want you to be firsthand. And I want the people of YPN to be the ones giving the feedback, the ones giving the guidance. I want to bring them into the creative process. And so this is going to be the work of the Daily Parks and Rec Show, in addition to the Daily Show here, in addition to me interviewing people, hearing their stories, bringing them on the program, finding out what their specialties are, sharing the wisdom that they've gathered over careers. of working in Parks and Rec. And I'm finding that each one of y'all latch on to something. Every time I talk to a Parks and Rec director, there's some topic, whether it's grant writing, whether it's programming, whether it's mentoring, whether it's park maintenance, superintendents, that kind of. And some of you come from the superintendent background, some of you come from the sports background, some of you come from accounting background, or architecture, like landscape architecture background. And you can tell when a landscape architect becomes a director. And you can tell when someone that was huge in the sports becomes a director because someone that um, for instance, Gabby has a tremendous story how after school care changed her life. It was her childhood, her friends. She had a single mom. After school care was her life from like sixth grade to high school. She knew she wanted to be a park and rec director because of that experience and the leaders and the coaches and stuff, people that she met in Parks and Rec at that young age. And so, guess what? Gabby does really well. Shocker. She does after school care programs working with the little kids. She does that really well because that's where her heart is. That's where her passion is. And so it's so great to highlight Gabby's journey and how that impacts how she leads and the kind of park and rec department that she um, puts together. And then I've got another great story. Oh, I'm ashamed that I can't remember her name because she was one of the first people I interviewed. Um, Let me see if I can pull it up. But anyway, her specialty was special events. And man, she can put on special events that are super well attended. Um, and they do so well. Their economies do well. They get participation from everywhere. Actually, there was another guy that I interviewed in, I think it was Colorado. Um, no, it was up in Portland, Oregon. I got to start putting these names and stuff together. I know the show right now. I'm just kind of riffing here a little bit, so I'm not very well organized like on some of the other shows. But anyway, I just wanted to highlight that sometimes you can learn such a good lessons from someone that's gone super deep down a rabbit hole. And maybe that's not where your passion is, but if you're going to take your time to learn how to do a special event, learn from somebody that's their passion. If you're going to take your time to try to, you know, increase the efforts put behind your after school programs, you got to listen to what Gabby does because she's coming at it from such a depth. Like literally, her programs pull from sixth grade. Like her after school programs are pulling from heart and wisdom and knowledge and effort that is rooted in a childhood experience all the way to what she's doing today. And so if I was going to suggest to any park and rec director looking to improve their after school programs, I'd be like, you got to talk to Gabby. She's doing it for the right reasons. I don't know that if you didn't have her childhood experience that you'd ever catch her on her mastery around creating really high quality. And she was in the Miami area. So it was kind of like an inner city kid, after school care, single mom working her tail off to support her and her child. And so that after school program was a big chunk of her upbringing, of her formation. And you can see it expressed in how she runs after school programs. Um, and so you can see that about somebody that sports was the same thing. So the more we can get these stories out and we can give each of you that have found one thing you're super passionate about. Oh, another great one is man, I could just keep going forever. There was another one that had a similar experience around working with Native American Indians, um, foster kid that grew up. Who is this? Okay, now hold on. Pardon me for this was because he came on the show. This was Chris Cotton. So Chris Cotton was, I want to say, is it not Oklahoma City? This is just proof that this is a live podcast and that this is not AI generated. And so that's the purpose of me being slightly disorganized this show. Here we go. Let me type in Chris Cotton. And one of the reasons I want to do pull up Chris is because he's having a big ceremony for this Native American event. There we go. Kansas City, Missouri. So I had them on a show, if you wanna go back and look, and he had, 2 people that work with the tribes, the Native American tribes, that came on the show with him. So it was like, 4 of us for his interview. And the whole show, all we did was talk a little bit about Chris's background growing up as a Native American, that didn't look Native American, but his adoptive sister was a Native American in the same family, but she looked Native American, and how he witnessed her getting bullied because she was a Native American Indian. And again, as a child, he said, if I ever get a chance to help the Native American Indians, and when I grow up and become a man, I am. And here he is over a huge park and rec department, 590,000 people over in Kansas City. And he has this one old facility that he is refurbishing, the city's redoing, and they're opening it up to any Native American tribe that wants to come host an event there to talk about Indian culture and that kind of stuff. And so, again, look how Chris's um, his story goes all the way back to his childhood experience. He brings that into how he leads and the opportunities that are laid in front of him through the Parks and Rec that he leads. And that's the kind of stories we want to get out. And that's the kind. And so, if you're in Parks and Rec and you're looking to maybe work with a native culture, you're looking to for an after school program, this is the kind of content we want to lift up and say, hey, you should listen to this guy's story when you're considering working with maybe a local culture or I'm steeped in culture over here in New Orleans where we have so much African American culture, Creole culture, French culture, Spanish culture, all mixed up in it, and we're all just living in a tiny area called New Orleans, and lots of good stuff to share like that. And so, anyway, wanted to give y'all an update on that, the direction we're going. So, I will be reaching out to a few people if you're interested in participating in this next what we call round 4, content creation. You're working with YPN, you'd like to be a part of that program, hit me up on X or LinkedIn, either one I monitor constantly. And we'll probably take about maybe 3 to 5 people that are working within YPN. Um, and we'd like to create a piece of content for YPN so that they can use that to promote the work they are doing. Also, I'd really like as much feedback as I can get for the career path videos, where we want to create a version 2 that's even better, that's got more input from the Parks and Rec people, even from the college professors and the high school kids. That would be great to get those people involved with the content creation process. And then we'll be looking to probably launch that YPN content creation piece after I get back from Traps. So hopefully I can meet a lot of you there, and I will be communicating with putting that team together. I guess I'll start the Skype channel tonight. And so I'm going to reach out to Gabby and Molly as well, see if I can get Kevin or some of those other people involved with that. But anyway, that's the update there. Loving producing this for the Daily Parks and Rec show. We are going to try to attend as many state associations as we can. Um, I'm currently putting together a road team. I think there's probably 65 national or annual events across the nation, Parks and Rec. You've got 50 state associations, and you've got some regional stuff, and you've got some national stuff. We will be attending the big event in Orlando, trying to attend as many of these state events as we can. I think I could maybe get like maybe 15, 20 under my belt, but eventually I'm going to have to put together a 4-man road team with, I'll take you backstage a little bit, but someone like me that's forward facing, doing the interviews. The term for that's called the talent. So that's the person that can do the interview, pull a story out, that kind of stuff. So we need one of those at every state event we want to attend. So right now fortunately, I'm the talent. I would love to get somebody in Parks and Recreation that would maybe want to do this full time. So if any of you are wanting to represent Parks and Recreation full time, go on the road, maybe you're kind of retired, maybe you're in marketing and you'd like to do exactly what I do at state associations, please reach out to me. It's going to take us a year or so to build these teams over the next year as we ramp up funding and such. Um, so we need one of those on our road team. Secondly, we'll need a producer. Right now, we've got Nate. He's helped me with Kentucky. He'll probably be our producer. So, what does a producer do? A producer's behind the scenes, setting up the mics, setting up the soundboards, the lighting, doing a lot of the behind the stage. He's kind of like you could call him the DJ. He's the one that's kind of making sure everything gets captured really well. So I could tell you when you're editing a video, if you didn't do a good job capturing the sound just right or the video just right, there's only so much editing you can do when you had poor capture. And so a producer is in charge of making sure that, like I'm in charge of making sure the story gets told. He's in charge of capturing the story being told. Okay. So if you kind of put those in your head. So I'll be the interviewer. He's the guy behind the camera. He's the guy behind the mic, that kind of stuff. That's called a producer. All right. So we need one of those on each team. Secondly, I'll need a networker, and this is one that's kind of just working the event, bringing people in, signing people up. It's constantly saying, okay, you're coming on at 1 o'clock. You're coming on at 2 o'clock. Would you like to come in and tell us about they'll go get some of the vendors and they'll kind of show prep them a little bit. And then they'll get some of maybe the president of the association, so people that might be winning awards at the banquet or something, and then just a couple of the directors that would like to come on the show. So we try to get like maybe 10 to 20 people at every event. So you need somebody that's constantly just social butterfly networking, encouraging people to come on the show. And then the fourth one, sorry, the photographer, video editor. So you need someone kind of like that you would hire for, let's say you have a wedding and you hire somebody to capture the whole thing. Usually the photographer is different from the video person, but we're trying to make it to where it's the same person because it's the same piece of equipment. You got a nice Canon camera with some good glass on it, and then you're just capturing those moments. And so we want to create a digital library of every event that we attend. And then that digital library, all of our content creators have access to it to then create promos, commercials, capture the event, give back to the event. So we want to, when we leave an event, we want to then present a 1 to 2 minute promotional video to the event people that put this on as our gift to, just to allowing us to do what we do and to create for y'all. And so those are the 4 people we'll need for each team. I'd like to create 3 of these teams so that each team attends 20 events, 20 to 22 events, and then we could cover all 50 states, the national stuff, the regional stuff, and we'd be able to just be the media company that storytells and represents Parks and Recreation. So anyway, that's the grand vision that I've got so far stuck in my head after working with this industry for, full time as a media company for this, since November, December. And I'm sure it'll change and evolve a little, but I just wanted to bring y'all back into the kitchen and let you know what we're cooking up back here and invite y'all to participate in the process where you can, to consider coming on the team if that speaks to you in any way. You kind of see what our needs are becoming and how you can participate. And then also if you really want to help out, just please comment on any of our stuff. And I don't mean just comment like great job, like give us some critiques, some true critiques and feedback. What would you like to see us create around? How can we do better? And then in addition to that, just invite your friends and family to do the same. We are artists trying to just tell your story, paint the picture, and it's so hard without feedback. And so the more feedback we can get, and you don't have to be all kind and fluffy and everything. Tell us what's wrong. Tell us what we can improve. Tell us what to delete. Tell us what to add. The more feedback, the better. And then our job is to gather all that feedback and then hurry up as best we can and create version 2, and then get more feedback and then create version 3, and this is called having a tight feedback loop with your audience, with your consumers. And so we are, as a group of artists, we want a tight feedback loop, which means we're speaking directly to the people that we're trying to create for, and then we're taking it back to the shop, to the art studio, creating again and saying, how about this? Does this represent your story even better? Is this one? And until they say these magic words, that's right. That's when you know you got it. You know you got it when you're like, that's right. That's it. You heard me. You understand me. That kind of stuff. That's what we're looking for. That nothing makes an artist smile more when they hear those words. Like, or sometimes there are no words. Like when you really hit it, it's just silence. And that's when you know you've done your job. You've told the story. These people, they feel heard. And that's what we want to do as a group of artists. So anyway, hopefully you can help us out with this journey. And many of you are, by the way, we are getting tons of thank yous. Keep going. We love the work that y'all are doing. I'm going to pass all that back to my artists. They're the ones that really do. They're the artists I want to support. They're the artists that I want to build something so that they can call the Daily Parks and Rec Show their home and be like, stay over here and create for us. We want to be the industry whose story is told. We are no longer going to be the industry that's called the best kept secret. And we are not going to be this discovery major for much longer. If I have anything to do with it, and if our artists have anything to do with it, this is going to be the most known industry, the best told story. And we're going to have the best artists helping us to do that. We're going to commission the best artists to come work for us and create for us. And so anyway, that's our mission. That's our vision. And now you know. Jump in and help us create this thing. Let's get on this mission. Let's get it going. Join the movement. Love you guys. I will see y'all tomorrow. Have a great interview scheduled for tomorrow, so don't miss it. We're here every day, weekdays, 12 noon Eastern. Craig LeBlanc with the Daily Parks and Rec Show. Y'all have an awesome day. See y'all tomorrow. Bye.
Welcome to the Daily Parks and Rec Show. As Craig LeBlanc from the Daily Parks and Recreation Show says, parks and recreation aren't just spaces, they're the soul of our communities. Across America, parks provide more than just a scenic escape. They're places where people connect, stay active, and create lasting memories. Parks promote physical health with trails, sports fields, and playgrounds while boosting mental well-being through the calming effects of nature. Recreation programs bring communities together, offering everything from fitness classes to cultural events. And as Craig often highlights, parks also play a key role in protecting the environment and driving local economies by attracting visitors and increasing property values. Whether it's a family picnic, a weekend hike, or simply enjoying the outdoors, parks and recreation are where life happens. Want to dive deeper into the stories behind America's parks? Tune in to the Daily Parks and Recreation Show with Craig LeBlanc for inspiring insights, tips, and updates about the spaces that bring us all together.